This show contains adult content.
Yeah, but the difference is we're really smart.
We are very smart.
And they're dumb.
They are dumb.
They're so dumb.
Did your father ever teach you how to box, Lucky?
No, not really. He was a boxer, but he didn't show me stuff, at least anything I remember. I mean, I'm sure he showed me how to stand and punch and all that stuff, but it doesn't stick when you're a kid.
Put on those gloves. Get up here in the ring with me.
I'd rather not.
Lucky, you can go through life not taking advantage.
All right, shut up. I'm going to put them on.
Crane smiles. Lucky gets into the darkened ring. We can't see the rest of the room around it, only the bright red ropes, or at least once bright red, now stained to a dark gray with the grime of 1,000 fights. Crane is shirtless, well fit. He's wearing these bright blue boxing gloves, and he puts them up as he's got one of those old school sparring helmets on that you presumably now have on too. And he moves forward to tap your gloves.
All right, so do we fucking fight right now or what?
Try to hit me.
All right.
Make a fighting roll.
At +6?
Whatever your fighting is.
It's +6.
He's got +6 to this.
3.
Crane blocks it, smiles, and says, "Take another swing. This time, put your back into it. You have to feel like the punch is going right through me."
+6?
No.
Oh, shit.
Double sixes.
It is going to be +6.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Another
Goddamn.
6. Holy shit.
All right, well, thematically, this works very good.
17, yeah.
Yeah. How much was that?
17?
Yeah.
You hit Crane straight across the jaw. There's that slow motion spit flying out of his face. Starts to fall backwards. And as he's falling, it's just silent. It's just slow. And then his whole body slams into the mat down below. And he's just laying there.
Lucky sticks his hands in the air victoriously.
Damn, Lucky, that was a good hit.
Yeah.
Clean this shit up. Who else wants some of this?
Well, hell, I'm sure not getting in there now.
I want Ellis.
I'll be in your corner, boy.
Give me
You
Ellis.
gotta work your way up, Dan.
Give the people what
come
they
on,
want.
Jack,
They
get
want
in there.
Ellis.
Ellis just comes out of the darkness, doesn't say a word, just looks you straight in the eyes. For some reason, he's only 2 feet tall. You don't know why. You want Ellis? You've got him.
Now I ain't gonna get to fight in there.
Nah, Harp, it'll be all right. You can
fight.
take winner.
Get in here.
I ain't gonna fight Ellis.
3 versus 3, free for all.
Get your ass
3
in
versus
there.
3. We
1
need
versus
everyone
1
in
versus
here.
1.
All right.
Lucky, what are you doing as Ellis jumps into the ring, this 2-foot Ellis in this darkened room?
I'm shadow boxing, by the way, just in the corner.
I'm bracing up. I'm getting ready to clock the shit out of this little guy.
Make a fighting roll.
Hey, you got this. You got this, Lucky.
Whoa,
Get
hang
it.
on. We got to do this the right way.
Make a fighting roll.
I get to make a fighting roll.
Do I get to make a fighting roll?
No, you do not.
Oh. 9, baby.
How do you demolish Ellis?
All right, so I hit him. I give him a good left hook, and then as he's reeling backwards, he spins. And meanwhile, I grab him by the waist, and I give him a dragon suplex into the mat.
Oh shit, that wasn't even boxing.
Hey, Luciano, you're crushing him
Jesus.
When Ellis hits the mat, he splits into 2 1-foot Ellises. Out of the darkness.
Jesus Christ.
4 more appear out of the darkness.
Careful, Lucky. Careful, he's cheating. Hey, you want me in there?
Lucky jumps over to the side and tags in Thaddeus.
No, all right. He hops in there. He flourishes his spear a little bit, and then he throws it over his shoulder and gets into a boxing position.
Meanwhile, this whole time, Harper's been desperately trying to get into gloves excitedly. He's took the time to take his shirt off. He's trying to tie the gloves, but he can't.
What do you think this all means, Lucky? Do you think this is your family?
Do I think this is my family? I know this is my family.
No is a strong word, don't you think? You don't think there's anything you could do to disappoint them. You think the amount of people Abel's killed in his life, he wouldn't mind leaving some Italian boy alone in the road.
No. If I haven't disappointed him already, I don't think I'm going to disappoint him.
How do you leave Lucky, Abel?
He tosses Lady at Lucky's feet, looks down at him from his towering height. You never counted for shit. And walks away.
You're in a family of leavers, Lucky. That's what you've come upon. You're nothing. A nobody from nowhere with a made-up name.
No, fuck that. I'm going to make him like me again if he doesn't like me now. We're family through and through, and he's going to learn that one way or another.
Lucky, you wake up.
Wait a minute, that was a dream?
Was that going to be in the actual show?
That'll probably be the
I'm
one,
excited.
right?
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Mhm.
Wait, what?
Yeah, 2-foot Ellis and everything. I'm excited.
Damn it.
Well, you didn't even hear who my coach is going
Yeah,
to be.
you wanna be
Yeah,
funny?
didn't hear the coach, dude.
Bite you in the
Have a
ass for it.
coach.
Lucky your eyes pop open to your brother Ellis shaking you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the fuck?
Wake up, Lucky. Got a lot to do today.
Why are you shaking me? Just call my name next time.
I tried. You didn't wake up. Must have been having a crazy dream or something.
No, it was not normal.
Harper's gonna go wake up the other two. I guess we better get going.
Lucky begins getting dressed in his shitty clothes.
We cut to the front of the tailors and we see these 5 raggedy men just covered in what you could barely call clothes in the dim morning hours walk up to the tailors. Most people's reception to you as you've been journeying through the city of Los Angeles has been terrible. Your party consists of Abel, Ellis, and Thaddeus, not to mention Lucky's fucked up nose.
And a one-armed freak.
Yeah. Whoa, whoa.
The
One
nose, is,
arm, one
the
eye.
nose is getting better,
Yeah.
okay?
Well,
None of us look good right now.
It's not bad.
I guess that's my point. Yeah, you guys are in a state of disrepair currently. And so when you get to the tailor, there's almost like a relief that washes over you. And we see the boys, these raggedy crows, walk inside. And then as the camera sits there, the sun like moves in the sky a tiny bit. And who comes out first?
Well, I think first up is Thaddeus. He comes walking out of Nightingale's. You know, he cuts a mean silhouette all of a sudden. First and foremost, we see he's got, I believe it's called an Inverness coat, which is a coat that doesn't actually have sleeves. It's got a cape that drapes over the shoulders and runs down to like his elbow.
Like a magician's coat?
A little like a magician's coat. A little
Like
cross
the-
between a trench coat and a little flair to it.
like a magistrate coat.
If you Bing Inverness coat, you're going to get good pictures of it.
Yeah.
Kinda-
That's what I went
kinda-
with. I wanted to find searchable terms. That way I'd be like, this is the one.
It is at this point that Caleb pulled out his phone with an image on it.
That's exactly what I'm picturing.
Yeah,
It's
me too.
The
Me too.
Sherlock Holmes coat.
It's like the coat that Data wears in the Sherlock Holmes episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation.
Wow, that's good.
Man.
That is incredibly not useful.
What's that hat though that Sherlock Holmes wears? Go ahead, Marshall. Sorry.
Hey, no, we're good. He sort of stands for a moment and grabs a hold of his coat, sort of gives it a shake, get it nice and set on his shoulders, and from underneath we can see that he's got a purple striped vest. It's like a deep plum or like a royal purple. And he's got a bit of matching striped black and gray pants that are tucked into his nice calf-high boots. And then he tips the slouch hat he's got with a purple cord that wraps around the top of it. Takes a quick look outside, looks down at himself and nods as he sees the color in the fresh light, and takes a couple steps down.
Behind Thaddeus, Abel walks out. What does Abel look like?
To reset the scene for Abel, he's a tall man, a big man, has lost some weight through their journey and then their time with the Upright Gang, but still a big, imposing figure. The battle with the judge has aged him significantly. He now no longer really looks like one of the brothers. If anything, some might mistake him for a father or an uncle or something like that. There's gray in the hair that's still there, although he tries to keep it closely shaved where it still grows on the right side of his face. Not a nice looking person, and not necessarily aided by what he's chosen to wear. It's a flat brim black hat, wide, probably like a 6-inch brim all the way out, just perfectly flat all the way around, gives good coverage. A long duster, long enough to hit the ground and definitely long enough to conceal the 2 weapons on his hips. He's got a small sawed-off double-barrel shotgun strapped on his left hip, and on the right, just a plain Peacemaker that's had the hammer modified slightly. Pants are of a thick, cavalry cloth, but still, that brocade is still black. Just gone to keep it simple. Shirt, 1 vest, and an untied tie hang around his neck. His only concession to finery are the boots he's wearing. Not brand new, they've definitely been used, but they got a little snake skin, just a little bit of silver on the toes. Little caps.
Following behind him, Ellis makes an appearance.
Start the boots. They are jet black, spit shine to perfection, but they are embroidered with kind of a matte thread. So you can see a dragon and a tiger, one on each boot. As we pan up, you can see his black slacks. As we keep going, it's going to be pretty easy, folks, because it's black coat with a black vest, black belt, the tie his wife gave him, and under that is a bright red button-down shirt. He's also adopted a hat similar to his old one, just a wide-brimmed black hat. The suit itself looks very fine, very finely tailored, and it is extremely form-fitting. So you can see that he's definitely not as bulky as he used to be, but you can see the contours of his body perfectly underneath this black suit. And I guess he just has a bandana to cover his face.
Followed closely behind Ellis is a silhouette of not just a man, but a man with flowing blonde hair. Lucky appears from that blonde hair, and you get to see his face as he reaches down and grabs something out of his new black skin-tight pants. You hear the clink of his new black rose-embroidered boots as they clack against the steps of the shop. His baby blue vest is held in strong contrast to the blackness of his button-up shirt underneath. With the hand that he reached down with, he unveils a rattlesnake skin hat as he places it right on top of his head. With his left hand, he slowly grazes over a lady that sits on his left haunch, and it comes up inside his vest as he pulls out a pair of black aviator shades. And he slips them right on.
Is that a thing? Can we do that?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, is that okay? I don't see why not. Right?
I mean, it's not any worse than a zebra hat.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because I'm like, we've done fucking crazier things. Why not aviator glasses?
I mean, they have glasses.
It's the Weird West, man.
You know, Lucky, when I first looked in the mirror wearing this, I thought I was in trouble. I thought I was going to stick out like a sore thumb. But as long as I stick next to you, I don't think that'll be an issue.
Lucky looks at him from underneath his glasses as he tilts his head down. Ellis, all eyes are going to be on me. Trust me.
Hey, ain't Harper done yet?
I think that question is answered as Harper exits the door, again, starting at the boots.
I went to fishing one day. And I said, I wish the Lord would hook me one day.
We have some nicely made leather boots, okay? These aren't anything fancy. These are tough riding boots. And the camera starts to pan up and we see some nice leather chaps. And these are the kind, you know the kind, with the fringes on the side. As it pans up even further, you can see he's got a new pair of blue jeans on, and you get to his belt. This is a brand new gun belt, replacing the old one that was ruined with salt water and sun. It's got a nice buckle on the front, nothing too fancy, and you can see some filigree that traces its way down the belt over the ammunition that fills it. Images of daisies planted on every single round.
I told my mother, I told my father, what was wrong with me.
We continue up, and Harper's wearing a shirt, gray, button-up, covered with a vest, custom made. This is one of those vests with wool or some type of fur lining it, and it's prominently on display on his chest. And as we continue up, you can see he's got a gray Hardy hat on, which is almost like a Stetson hat with the left side sewed up. And as he exits, his new mechanical arm is placing that hat onto his head a little unsteadily. And he glances up and we can see he's got himself a brand new eye patch, black, covering that pit where his eye used to be. And for the first time in a long time, Harper grins.
Tell my mother now, I don't wanna get alone. Wrapped up, tangled all up in Jesus, and I don't want to get alone.
You guys spend a lot of money on these clothes. A shit ton of money on these clothes, okay?
Yeah.
So they've got a feature. They essentially have a floating Benny that can only be used for a soak roll. And if you use that Benny for a soak roll, the clothes are permanently and unrepairably damaged.
I mean, I like free bennies.
Whenever
so-
it comes up,
I'd rather die.
You got it. Okay.
you may.
Lucky's gone through like 4 or 5 pairs of clothes now.
Yeah,
so-
absolutely. And plus, Ellis paid for all this, so I'm not too attached to
I
it.
didn't pay for any of it.
You
It was
absolutely
Eliza.
did.
It was all Eliza.
We get a wide shot of the 5 brothers standing there in this beautiful morning on the dusty streets of this city. The people that walk by are no longer circling around them. Many men and women tipping hats to you, smiling, making eye contact, and moving by as the city seems to accept you.
I don't know about you boys, but I feel a lot better.
Looks like money well spent.
Yeah, all of a sudden we look civilized now. That's nice. Although, and he sort of scratches at his beard a little bit. It's grown extra poofy at this point, and it looks unkempt. And Lucky, I think I'm gonna go back to that barber we saw the other day.
You are seriously not about to go back to the barber. We're about to head out now. We gotta go.
Well, look at me. This isn't gonna work with everything we got going on here.
Come
It's gonna
on,
take
Thaddeus.
like 20 minutes.
I could use a shave too. Mine's like 1.5 inches now, but are you serious right now?
No, I suppose we're fine. Could I at least maybe go by there and get some cream?
I'll tell you what. Next time we have a stopping point, I'll cut it for you.
Yeah, I got a good razor in the saddlebags. Got a nice strap. Well, it'll be a relaxing evening around the fire, Thaddeus. Just you, me, and a little razor.
He shaved that dog Cranberry that one time.
Yeah, well, I hope not to hurt your feelings, Abel, but that sounds absolutely terrible to me. I don't want anything to do with that. No, I'm just looking for a little trim. We'll get to it later. That's fine. We're headed out to Progress now, right?
Yeah, but before we go, I want to go find Grace.
Oh, well, shit. Maybe you do have time then.
Fine. I'm gonna go with Harper. Keep him out of trouble. You boys, you go get trimmed up.
Fuck that. I'm coming with you guys.
Yeah, last time we got split up. Well,
Fine. Daisy, Thaddeus, you go get yourselves prettied up.
I think we should just head out. I'm just letting Grace know about some information on my way out. Don't gotta be a whole thing.
Yeah, we can get it shaved up and get yourself some haircuts later.
no, you're right. I should have thought about it yesterday anyway.
We got a witch to kill.
Hell yeah, we do.
A witch?
A witch.
I don't know if that's what she is, but it's what she's acting like.
It's definitely a witch.
I doubt it. I don't think she's doing any magic.
You saw what she did with those bodies.
You see what that man did with the rats yesterday? That weren't no magic. That
Yeah,
was
but
that.
he was wearing a mask and
We don't know what she was wearing. She could have been wearing anything.
Abel sighs and steps past him down into the street heavily off those steps, and spurs on his boots make a little jingle.
tell you what, if it's not a
You
witch,
ladies coming or what?
Yeah, we can talk and walk, Abel. It's fine. Ellis, I'm pretty sure I know what she looks like.
what?
This woman's got all sorts of piercings in her face. Y'all said that she was working with the Mexican army?
Yeah.
I legit have no idea what we were talking about, guys.
The witch.
Listen, I'm just saying I'm pretty confident I'll know her when I see her.
Lucky's going to start just playing with Lady and tune this whole thing out.
Harper, if it's not a witch, I'll give you $25.
Hey, I'll take that bet. Harper takes a couple of steps off the boardwalk and starts following Abel.
We cut to outside of the Dancing Hat. It's a small boarding house. It's got all the prices listed out front. You kind of go up, knock, and you're let in by a kind old man. And he goes to call on Grace for you as you wait in a dining room that has far too much china in it to ever be used. After a few moments, a hurriedly dressed, distraught-looking Grace joins y'all in the dining area.
So as Grace enters the room, it's completely silent except for the repeated tapping as Harper is touching each one of his new mechanical fingers to his thumb, just still trying to get acclimated to the machine now attached to his body. So there's just that click, 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 and then every now and then he'll miss one and look down and start over.
Hey, Harp, I got oh, holy shit. Wow. You boys look fancy as hell.
Yeah, we don't look too bad anymore, do we?
Thank you.
Lucky tips his hat. Ma'am?
She laughs and blushes at that, turns back to Harper. It's a pretty nice arm.
Yeah, it's gonna work. I think he opens and closes the hand a couple of times.
What'd you find out?
Well, I found those people you were looking for.
Yeah?
Yeah, turns out same place we're going.
What do you mean?
Well, there's this woman named Tabitha Raines.
She's a witch.
She ain't a witch,
She ain't a witch.
but she's been snatching people up apparently. Mad scientists and regular people, both seems like. She's been using the Mexican Armada.
You know those girls I've been following? Trying to figure out where they're going?
Mm-hmm.
One of them came back.
What'd she have to say?
You can talk to her if you want.
Harper kind of glances over his shoulder at the rest of the boys. Yeah, well, it ain't gonna hurt.
Where is she?
Got her upstairs. She looks around the room, like one by one, looking at each of you. She like makes eye contact with Harper's arm, Abel's face, and Ellis's bandana, and then looks to Thaddeus and Lucky. I think probably just Thaddeus and Lucky should come talk to her, though. Or maybe even just one of you.
Me?
You're right. Lucky should come talk to her.
Oh, come on, it ain't that scary. And Harper holds up his arm and he just spins the hand completely around like a drill bit.
She raises an eyebrow. Listen, she's pretty spooked. She just got back in last night. I haven't even talked to her yet. I don't want to put her off before I learn anything.
I mean, I guess I can go talk to her, but I don't know shit about what we're doing. That's been everyone else's job.
Then I guess you better figure it the fuck out. And she like punches you, trying to be playful on your arm, but punches you really hard.
Ow, fuck.
Oh.
I don't think I met you yet, Grace. You seem all right. Lucky, I think I can go with you. I think I got a good grasp of what we're trying to do here.
All right, yeah, come along. He rubs his arm.
Don't y'all fuck this up.
Shut up.
No
You didn't even know what was
promises.
going to happen. What's the big deal?
They will.
It's close to the nicest room in the boarding house that you walk into. Plenty of lace, plenty of sunlight spilling in. And there's like this young woman sitting next to a vanity with the curtains open, and she's just sort of staring out into the streets as Grace knocks and then slowly opens the door. Hey there, Billy. We just came to talk to you for a minute, if you don't mind. There's kind of no response. She shrugs and looks to Lucky.
Lucky slowly takes off his shades and hat and tucks them away. Prepare for that description a lot, because I'm
that's
going to
never
start
gonna
doing
get
that.
old.
It's going to be cool. Hey, Billy. We're friends of Grace, and we're actually just here to ask you a couple of questions, if that's okay.
Yeah, what do you want to ask?
Lucky beckons Thaddeus over.
Oh, yeah, sure. He'll sort of take off his coat, revealing his dark gray long sleeve shirt underneath, and he'll fold his coat over on one of the chairs or toss it on the bed. Well, Miss Billy, my brothers and I, we're on the hunt of who we believe is the same individual who your friend Grace says you returned from recently, a Miss Tabitha Raines.
Grace says you plan to kill her?
Well, we mean to find out what she's on about, and if it ends in that, well, we'll be the ones doing the job.
We sure do plan on killing her. We're going to kill her good.
That seems to give her some sense of satisfaction as she like nods and then turns in this small stool she's sitting in. She's young, no makeup on, hair just sort of pulled back into a bun behind her head, blonde hair. She's wearing like a loose blue nightgown. I guess let me start at the beginning, right? Some of the other girls that were there, they were kidnapped, either from here or somewhere else, but I just went with because they offered a lot of money for me to help them with experiments.
What kind of experiments are we talking here?
They wouldn't have the colloquialism for put under, would they? They wouldn't even understand what that is.
I'm wearing aviator glasses, so I don't fucking know.
They put me under for all of them, but we were all with child.
Were?
She has no response to that.
Lucky kind of nudges you.
Well, that's awful. I'm real sorry to hear that, Miss Billy.
I knew what I was getting into. They offered me a lot of money up front, said they were pushing the boundaries of new science, and then once I was on the ship, they told me what it would entail. They told me I was going to be there for 10 months. They just didn't tell me why. And then by the time I could say no, they offered me more money, and by the time we got there, it was too late.
We had heard that she liked to take her work out on boats. Were you there the whole 10 months, or did they ever take you somewhere else? Did you escape?
We were just in the mission the whole time.
It's a mission. That's not the name of the boat, is it? I'm sorry.
No, it was like, I was only on the top a few times. We had certain areas where they'd take us out, let us see the priests, and use the yard. I don't know. It was just an old Spanish mission or something like that.
Okay. And was there any sort of routine to this, or is it just sort of
I guess, what do you mean?
You know, if we're to go out there and make sure we all come back alive and she don't, it would really help us if we knew some of their comings and goings beyond just your trip to was it an island? The part of the land up north? Or
I just stowed away on a ship with some of the other girls. None of the rest of them made it. I couldn't tell you where it is, but yeah, it was just on one of the mesas.
Sure.
Just on one of the cracklands.
Sure, that's okay. That's all right.
As far as routine goes, I mean, they kept me underground. They just studied me, I guess.
Okay.
Lots of doctors.
Did you ever actually see Tabitha?
Yeah. And she kind of has like a far off look. I liked her.
Could you describe what she looks like?
Mostly it was these. She sort of pulls away some of her hair and she turns her head towards you guys. And as you look to where she's pointing, you can see in the back of her scalp are sort of 3 randomly placed gold pins that sort of have like an 1/8 inch diameter that look to be like implanted into her skin. She had a bunch of these. They used them to hook us up to machines and to run tests, but she had them all over her face like a big cross.
Well, shouldn't be too hard to identify.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Well, and was she the only working scientist out there, or?
There were so many. I couldn't even tell you their names.
Okay, yeah, we knew she had hired a few. And was it just scientists and, we believe it's Mexican soldiers, is that right?
She like nods kind of happily that like, she doesn't have to talk more, Yeah, they seemed kind of at odds, but they were there, definitely. I couldn't tell you who was running the show, if that makes sense. I didn't know who was in charge, but they definitely carried the guns.
Well, if it's who you think it is, I'm sure she would know.
Well, she might not. Was it just Mexican soldiers, or did she have any other men from town here, or?
Just scientists and machines.
Okay.
And yeah, scientists and machines.
Oh, well, and what? Was there something else there?
Make a persuasion roll.
I should not have been the one to say it.
Can I help him with this, even though I am equally unskilled?
I think if he fails, you can come in after with like a different sentence, a different angle, and see what happens.
A wild die blew up. That's an 8.
Ooh, -2. 6.
That's a 6.
Yeah, she doesn't want to talk about it. It's going to sound like I'm crazy. It's going to sound like I'm mad.
Listen, Miss Billy, my brother and I here, we've seen quite a few crazy things.
We're pretty familiar with the unfamiliarable.
I doubt there's anything you could say that would surprise us too much.
She had things that weren't people. They weren't machines. They sure as hell weren't animals. I don't know what they were.
Can you give us a shape to go off of?
Big, small.
Dangerous.
Fur, scales.
Mean, happy. Smelly.
Barely any of us carried to term. I didn't have my own room. We shared it. There's 4 girls in each room. Jane, she'd been there quite a few more months than me. And, she's gonna make a guts roll.
Oh, hell, lucky.
She does fail it. They just came. It just came. Clawing out. It was small. And she was screaming. And I just saw a glimpse before the soldiers and the doctors came in.
Hey.
Their blood was all over the sheet. Their blood was all over the curtain, separating us. Then they shot it. Then I never saw Jane again. And that's when I knew I had to leave.
Well, that is horrible, Miss Billy. I don't want you to think that we would ever downplay the traumatic experience it sounds like you've been through. It's really strong of you to be able to come out here and help us like this.
She nods, kind of absentmindedly.
I'm not much in the business of making promises, but I feel pretty confident we can make sure that never happens to anyone else again.
Lucky puts his hand on her leg, and when they make eye contact, he says, "We're going to kill her. We're going to kill her good." All right, Thaddeus, I think we traumatized this girl enough. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. I'll make sure someone sends in for some water for you, all right?
She just nods.
He'll turn to leave and grab his coat.
Grace, Lucky, and Thaddeus return to the rest of the boys in the dining room. I think there's a short, sort of silent recap as we see their, mouths moving, and then sort of a slow fade to show the passage of time, and then the boys are caught up.
I think that's at least one check in the witch box for me.
I don't know. Still sounds like new science.
It don't matter what you call it. It's sin.
Sounds like there's a lot of girls still left there, though.
Yeah, we ain't got much time left to delay. We need to figure out how to get out there quick. Nobody seems to know where this mission is. They just know we gotta go out into the maze again to find it.
Are there any of them soldiers in town we could talk to?
Yeah, they keep a pretty low profile when they're here. I don't know how familiar you are with the city, but the Guardian Angels run the show, and they don't really like other people sticking their fingers in the pie. If there are some here, they'd be keeping their heads low.
What was the information we got from that scientist? The rat man?
The information you got from him was that they first took him to a small town about a day's journey outside west in the maze to a town called Rancho Perdido.
Okay, so that might be a good spot to check, huh?
Yep.
You can do Mexicans in town too. Either one of those is good. Progress is good too. I don't
No.
care.
Yeah, we should get out of
So
town.
what is Progress again? Because I thought that was
That was one
Rancho.
of the other dudes who had information. That's like the contact we've got.
And that's the town north?
Yeah, it's north. Rancho Perdido's northwest.
Northwest.
Let's ride to Rancho Perdido.
Yeah, let's head to Rancho Perdido because it sounds like it's west, this place. So I guess we might as well get closer.
Would Grace know that already?
Harper could have caught her up.
We don't fucking have horses. How are we getting to these
Yeah,
places?
we sure don't.
You have to take
Is
a
it-
boat.
I mean, we're gonna
It's
need
up
a
the
boat
coast,
one way or
yeah.
another.
It's a boat.
We're
of-
going back to Old Boot.
Oh, no.
It is the easiest boat.
Now, I don't mean to talk shop here, but I've got a bounty to bring these girls back. And I would gladly split it 50-50 with all y'all. Since I brought in some information, I feel like that's fair. And you can keep whatever bounty you're getting on Reigns.
Abel looks like he has a strong opinion that that's bullshit. But he doesn't say anything, and he just looks over at Harper.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
We got to save all those women.
We gotta put a bullet in Tabitha's head.
If that's what it takes. Okay, should I start chartering a boat or...
We got one.
You want to use Old Boot?
Hell yeah, I want to use Old Boot. Who else are we gonna trust to take us out there?
Remember what happened last time we didn't use Old Boot?
All right.
Old Boot is a straight sailor.
We got to hope that he's willing to take us.
He'll do it for a price.
Yeah, that's true.
Fine. So long as we get moving. We've been burning daylight ever since we left Crane.
I agree.
Does Old Boot know about his hometown? Right? Like that vanished
He sure
along with
doesn't
the
know about his
memory.
hometown.
So
He's not aware that he had a hometown. He's not aware that he was married. He's not aware that he had kids. He's not aware that he had grandchildren.
where does he think he lives or
has
is going to go?
No inclination, bro. He's boatman.
No
Honest boot.
inclination.
Honest
That
boot.
was well
No
done, Marshall. I'm
inclination.
You know, I
impressed by
tried,
that.
guys. Hey,
Okay.
I did
Wow.
it. I did it, folks.
Yeah, that's his whole character now.
So he is literally just like NPC boat dude.
He's been sailing since
I
he was
think
like
there's a tragedy to it because
Nah.
there's somewhere in his mind where he's like, I don't have a home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But he hated his wife and kids. So
It worked out for the better.
it's a redemption
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, it's true.
With a skippy transition, the Crow Boys arrive back at the docks. Old Boot somehow is still at the same location. I think we're about to find out why. As you step aboard the boat, Old Boot sort of like mumbles and knocks over some whiskey bottles next to a couple games of solitaire he has going. Well, shit, boys, I thought I'd never see your damn faces again.
That's what you said yesterday.
Well, that's gonna say it every day until I don't see your face again there, Jack.
Oh, that'll be a dark day indeed, won't it, old boot?
It will be a dark day indeed.
Just doing some day drinking here.
Well, I did some night drinking, into some morning drinking, into some afternoon drinking, and I reckon I'm going to do some evening drinking too if you boys want to in.
Only if you can boat drunk.
You asking if Old Boot can boat drunk? Yeah, of course Old Boot can boat drunk. Can you shoot, Harper? Can you shoot straight?
Harper raises his new mechanical hand and gives him the finger.
There's a bear shit in the woods, you know? I don't know.
Abel plops down at one of the solitaire games and with a smooth move just scoops the cards up and starts shuffling. We gonna get moving or what?
He might need your help, Abel.
Yeah, that's your wife left something for you.
Wait, my wife came here?
No, not your wife, but some of the represential, I don't know, some big old fella, you know. Anyway, it's just a package. and he like rummages around under a seat, and he pulls out like a brown, almost butcher's paper package with string tied around it and a bow that's gotten a little bit of whiskey spilled on it. And he hands it to you.
Well, thanks for not opening it. I appreciate that.
Well, I tried, but I couldn't get it open and closed without you noticing, so...
Let's take a look. What do you think this is, boys?
I don't know. She didn't really like me last time I saw her, so I hope it's nothing bad.
If you don't like Thaddeus, that's for damn sure.
Well,
Well, who does?
yeah, that's not saying much.
No offense, Thaddeus.
Well, none taken. I earned it.
I like you, Thaddeus.
You certainly did.
Oh, hey, thanks, Lucky. He pointedly ignores Abel.
As you open it up, it's almost like a dress box where it's got like wax white paper, a lid that you can easily pull off, and then inside is tissue paper or wax paper or whatever they'd have in these times, sort of covering up whatever's in this box. On top of it is a handwritten note, and you pick it up. It's from your wife. You can tell immediately from the handwriting on it. It's short, to the point, simply says, "During our time apart, our casino kept me busy. Every time someone walked in with a wound, I'd think of you, and think about if you were dead or not. One time an old man came in, veteran, wounded in the war. At the time, I kind of thought he looked ugly. Now, compared to you," and then it's just ... There's a line break, and then it says, "I didn't want you to run around looking like the people we go after. Lose the bandana. Love, Liza."
Well, that's not a very nice letter.
What's it say?
She says I'm ugly.
Well,
Oh, well.
She ain't wrong.
Well, let's see what it is anyways.
You open it up, and inside is a mask, Ellis. What does the mask look like?
It looks a lot like just a human face with a blank expression on it. Looks kind of unsettling, I guess. The only holes on it would be for like the nostrils, eyes, and mouth. It's like gold and silver, kind of like gold with silver swirling patterns on it. It looks kind of like a Roman cavalry mask or helmet that they used to have, like the that guy from Gladiator.
Yeah.
You know what
Russell
I'm talking
Crowe?
about? The guy he fights that has like that face mask that he like pulls down and it just looks like this.
Like a face.
Like
Yeah,
it looks like a
like
face,
the
just like
dead
this,
stare.
Made
just
of
a
steel.
dead
yeah, the
Yeah.
golden
dead
gold one.
eyes. Yeah. Anyways, it looks like that. I'm gonna put a picture of something like that in the Discord too.
I'll post it on the website and in the show notes as well.
Well, I might have you beat now, Lucky. I kind of pull out of the box and show everybody.
Woof. You look like the Phantom of the Opera.
Well, hot damn.
What?
The Phantom of the Opera.
It's a play.
It's an opera. I think.
What's the difference?
I guess I don't know.
I think
Yeah, I
One's
there's
thought it was
singing.
the same thing.
Yeah, more singing in one of them.
Ain't there singing in a play too?
More singing in one of them.
Well, but there's musicals too. Those are plays.
Abel looks up from where he's sitting, pushes the brim of his hat back, just with the most annoyance possible on an old man's face. Are we gonna go or what?
We're gonna go. He just got a mask. Look at it.
Old boat, we gotta make a deal.
You boys want to go somewhere there, don't you?
That's right.
Yes, old boot.
What do you say?
Whew. Where we going, Jack?
What was it, Rancho Perdido?
Yeah, that's right.
Rancho Perdido, yep.
You sure you
Oh,
want to
shit.
head there?
Hell yeah, we are.
Wait,
Yeah.
why? What do you know about Rancho?
Well, this is a small little town. Used to be some sort of little mining thing, but even the Rockies don't bother going there. There ain't no north, no south there. You know, mostly it's the Mexican Armada that bases out of there sometimes, but recently they're moving down south, so just sort of nothing there.
Could go for a little bit of nothing.
Yeah, me too.
I'm afraid there won't be nothing there. I think Mondragon's gonna be around here somewhere. We ain't done with him yet.
No, I bet you they sent him back to Mexico. After getting kidnapped, I bet he's gonna go back to...
I thought he was from Canada.
What?
No,
I thought he said he was from Canada.
I don't think
Damn,
that's
Ellis,
right.
you're a mite bit stupider than I thought you were.
I thought he was from the north.
No, he said he came from up north when we were in Inclination.
Okay.
Well, why would he be here? Why would he go to Rancho anyways? It sounds like there's a whole lot of shit, nothing going on there.
Well, if the Mexican Armada has anything to do with what Tabitha Raines is up to, and we know for certain that Mondragon is the general that's out here operating, it's probably his, in which case he's gonna be somewhere between here and that mission.
But yeah, but Boot just said they all went south.
Well, we just talked with that girl who said that the mission is guarded by members of the Mexican Armada, so not all of them are gone. They just might not be in Rancho Perdido.
Abel finishes dealing his little game of solitaire and stands up. Either we get going to Rancho, or I'm going to walk into that town and find the first Mexican soldier I come across and beat an answer out of him. Your boy's choice.
Cool your ass off. Sit back down and play your game.
As long as he doesn't take his guns into Los Angeles again, I'm sure that's fine with both, honestly.
Can you get us there, Boot?
I can get you there. 5 to boat. You boys pay for fuel?
We'll pay for fuel.
Then you got a deal. I'd do anything for a friend. And he smiles at Ellis and Lucky.
Oh, I'm in there too.
Yeah.
It's because I gave him money.
You love
Yeah.
money.
I gave
Loves
him
money.
money. I gave him money.
Boot loves money.
His only hindrance is that he's greedy.
Old Boots a greedy son of a bitch.
Nice. There it is. That was the season finale, Ender. Cool.
The boot.
The boot. I like it. The boot.
has many guns.
The boot fires the boat up and it starts to sort of untether it from the dock.
Harper just kind of leans back and sits on the side of the boat, and then like looks up to Grace, and she's just been like standing here, just like letting all this happen.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Gracie, this is Boot.
She nods to old boot. Old boot gets her toothy smile.
Looks like he's gonna be our transport.
Is he good?
He's the best.
He'll get us there. Harper kind of grins.
Hopefully it'll take a little less than 3 weeks this time, though, right, boys?
Yeah, I hope he doesn't get sick.
Grace leans up against the side of the boat. She lets her rifle hang. She puts both hands over the edge of the boat, maybe one almost hanging down into the water. She turns to you, Harper, looking your threads up and down as this boat leaves the harbor and starts to sail into the maze, and says, "Man, your aunt really hooked you up with those clothes, huh?" End of episode.
What?
End of
What are you talking
episode.
What the fuck?
Thank you so much for listening to Sounds Like Crows. I'd like to thank Ariel Weiss, Greg Gray, Jared, and Suzanne Hagen, along with all of our other patrons for supporting us and our show. Some of your money went to the music this week by Void Core Productions, which was used alongside works by Levi Rojas, Rudy Zuniga, and Jason Shaw. Also featuring the works of Reverend Charlie Jackson, used with permission by Fidelity and Case Quarter. A link to the track used in this episode, Wrapped Up, Tangled Up in Jesus, will be listed in the show notes down below. Abel is performed by Isaac Sunstead at Abel the Crow. Thaddeus Crow is played by Marshall Sims at Mr. Malicious 1. Ellis is played by Alex Horrell at Alex Horrell. Lucky Crow is played by Cameron Day, who can be found on our Patreon Discord server. And Harper Little Baby Daisy Crow is played by Cameron Reed at CJ Reed 211. And I'm your host and game marshal Caleb Sunstead at Marshall Caleb. With all that out of the way, see you next Monday.
But she has a sister?
Do you guys remember your mom's maiden name that we wrote down on Slack and talked about in session 0?
Nightingale.
Wind Snatcher.
Was it Nightingale?
It was
It
Nightingale.
was Nightingale.
What the fuck?
God damn it.
Yeah, boys. Does that mean I was the only one who caught on to this?